Mobile generation technology has been out there obviously for a long time, and it's always built off of an engine platform. Now there are new regulations that have come in the past couple of years on monitoring the emissions levels. That's created a whole new level of difficulty, of cost, of complexity, and even some additives. Some systems need another additive in addition to the fuel just to make it clean. So what this technology does is it avoids all that. And it runs on an engine that's already been certified like that in the vehicle. So a great demand for it. It's a perfect time to enter this marketplace. When I saw the demo today, a couple of things struck me. It's that it packages very well. In fact, I went outside and I looked at the vehicle, just the bed there with nothing on it. And I tried to translate these parts onto that vehicle, and I can see that for a certain level of KWs, it'll be invisible to that customer. No one will even know that there's additional components are on there that will give them this benefit. There are places where you can't take a generator today, that you can take a vehicle today. So all those applications, could be mining, could be energy plants, it could be disruptions for hurricanes, for the weather, you name it. Power outages, all of those where perhaps you couldn't get power there, you can now. And think of the savings of having to buy less generators totally, just because you have one that can move from place to place. Coming from the automotive or truck world, an advancement in simplicity was like this big. If you could find a way to improve by 2%, that was big. What we're talking about here is 35% in terms of cost, maybe even more than that over time. It's about 2/3 of the weight coming out of this product. This is incredible advancements. This is still in its early phases, so when it gets to high production, I don't have any question in my mind, it's going to get better, simpler, and it'll be difficult for someone to copy. Now, I also mentioned that I think it's going to create a new space. So it won't all be taken from them, it will be additive. So the space for this type of application will grow. I'm convinced of that. Where some perhaps couldn't afford it, didn't make sense economically, now it will. Well, reducing heat in diesel engines. The number one issue with a diesel engine today is dealing with heat. And that's partly because you want more power, you want better fuel economy, and you have to meet emissions. These go against each other. They fly against each other. So number one issue in engines today, especially diesel engines, is dealing with heat. And you deal with heat in the exhaust, you deal with heat in the cooling system itself, and you deal with heat inside the engine. So I can tell you from a Navistar's point of view, I would bet you our engineering money for dealing with heat was probably 50% of the budget. It was that big, whether it's in the truck or whether it's in the engine. Dealing with heat was number one. When you think about the technology itself, that it allows you to absorb the heat, to eliminate the heat, that creates more power. If you can take that into engine technology itself, cooling technologies, you can see huge opportunities. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to find a whole lot more, because the emphasis of dealing with heat and being able to reduce that heat is a difficult problem for anyone that's powering anything.